Hi there, I'm Tim.
Hi, Tim. Kelly Johnson.
Nice to meet you.
Tim, Richard.
Richard, good to meet you. So what brought you guys into therapy today?
Oh, well, we've been married about 15 years.
15 years, okay.
What I would consider a healthy marriage. Very good communication, the bumps along the way.
Yeah.
But in the last year, it seems that we've had a breakdown in our ability to communicate, and so I asked Richard if he'd be willing to be involved in therapy, and after about 4 months, he finally caved and said yes.
Okay, so it took a little bit to get him here,
Yeah,
but...
I had to coerce him a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So she asked you, how do you feel about being here and everything? How's this?
A little
going?
uncomfortable.
A little uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, hopefully...
Haven't been in this kind of situation before.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hopefully we can make you more comfortable and work through that. So, I just want to get a little background information from both of you. So, start with you. What do you do? What's a little bit?
I'm an accountant.
Okay.
And I work for a large firm in downtown Durham.
Okay.
Grew up here, met Richard in college. Like I said, we've been married about 15 years. We have 2 children.
Okay.
We have a son and a daughter. Soccer mom, typical stuff.
Okay. Okay. How about yourself? What do you do?
I'm a technician at a technology company down in RTP.
Okay. Very interesting.
Without getting into all the hairy details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So, so what's like the main problem that you guys feel like going on with your relationship? I'll ask you.
I don't feel like we're as close to each other as we used to be.
Okay. So a bit disconnected. Okay.
Yeah, and it's hard to explain.
I understand.
I don't feel as if she pays as much attention to me as I had kind of gotten used to.
Okay.
She's busy with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And of course the kids take a bunch of time. I mean, they're, Clifford's a teenager now.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish she wasn't quite so busy and was just more part of day-to-day family stuff a little bit more. Maybe I'm perceiving this wrong, but that's how I feel. I think she's not there as much as she used to be.
Okay. So I hear that you just miss your closeness to her.
Yeah, and I feel like we don't have as much opportunity to be close.
Yeah.
And it's, there's always other stuff to do, and there's schedules and conflicts, scheduling conflicts, and that creates a separation between us.
Okay. So life is real busy for both of you,
Yeah.
it sounds like, right now, and that's been affecting your relationship. So how do you, when you feel distant from her, how do you try to get closer to her?
Well, I try to approach her. I try and show affection. I try to show interest in her job and what she's doing with the kids and everything. My schedule is such that I don't get home early enough to be able to do as many things with the kids as she does. So that's creating some disconnect too. But I try, and it seems like my attempts aren't being recognized.
Yeah. That must not feel good. So what do you feel inside when that happens, when you feel like you're kind of reaching out?
I feel disappointed.
Yeah.
And I feel lonely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the most I've heard out of him in 4 months.
Yeah. So you're kind of surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to talk to him, and I will admit, with the scheduling, I'm trying to make partner, and I have the 2 kids, The oldest is in soccer, and he's also in a special choral group. The younger daughter has some special needs, some learning disabilities. So yeah, my plate is full.
Yeah.
And I, respect that. But when we go into conversations at night trying to break down, like, where did we go wrong this week? Where did we fall through the cracks? I can't even get him to talk to me. So, I mean, if you see me a little bit taken aback, this is the most you've said in 4 months. I mean, you're having feelings that I didn't even know. You say words like disappointed and disconnected. And, I mean, they're your feelings, and they are what they are. But I'm, quite frankly, a little surprised. I'm so glad we're here
Yeah.
for that reason.
That's interesting. Oftentimes we communicate in different means. So he might be reaching out to you in a certain form, and you may not be recognizing that he's trying to reach out to you.
Obviously, yeah.
So communication, that's something we will definitely look at and
Okay.
try to work on and get that more clear when this is happening. This is what we're trying to express.
Which is
So,
why we're here, because
yeah.
of the communication issue.
Exactly. Okay. So
So-
what has been going on with you in the relationship? How have you been?
Well, I guess I wasn't aware that while I'm the one that came here and called you, I don't think I was aware of the gravity of the situation and how he feels.
Yeah.
And in part, that's my responsibility and my fault. But on the flip, I can't get him to talk to me.
Yeah.
When I go at it and I'm like, hey, let's have this conversation, he pulls back.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm a hard charger. I'm an accountant. I'm very much into facts. I work with facts. I don't work with emotion, and I don't work with suppose this would be this way. I just don't. And so I'm a concrete thinker.
Mhm.
And I guess I expected him to come up to me and say, hey, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a rude awakening for me.
Yeah. Is that how you interact with him? Like you just kind of
We
express?
have for 15 years. This has worked, and now it's not, and I'm sad to
Yeah.
hear that.
Okay. Okay. Have you been feeling that distance in the relationship?
Yes,
also?
which is why, that's
Okay.
why I rang you.
So when you feel kind of distant from him, what's going on inside of you, and how do you try to reach out to him?
I actually just thought he was pushing back. He closes up.
Yeah. Okay. When he closes up, what do you do?
Push hard.
Push harder. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Talk to me. What are you doing? We need to talk. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's even physical.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be. So what do you feel like when you reach out to him and you don't get that?
Agitated. I guess, maybe too, the kids. I go to the kids and I'm like, Clifford, what are we doing? Okay, where are we at with this? And so, at work,
Mhm.
I'm going to need that report by 4. And everyone snaps to it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I want to treat him like a coworker or a child, but when that becomes your normal, and then you don't get that from the one person who's in your corner, on your team,
Right.
I took it as him not wanting to be a part of it. I took it as a shutdown, and then he won't talk to me. So I guess I need to possibly get some tools to learn how to
Yeah.
interact with him on a different level.
Yeah.
Back to the more of the intimate and the loving and the equal.
Yeah, I understand.
So equality.
So here that you both recognize that the distance that you're both
Yeah.
feeling, and you both long to be closer to each other, and that's really like you both want to be close, and I
Absolutely.
think you're both even reaching out and trying to make that happen, but it's just going over each other's head and both missing it somehow. So
Yeah.
that's good news. That's something we can definitely work with.
Yeah. I don't know if this might be connected in some way or another, but for the last couple of years, my job has gone from working pretty closely with a team of other folks to being very much on my own.
Okay.
And so I don't have very much interaction with other people during the course of the day.
Mhm.
I'm either online or I've got my hands in a piece of equipment. And I see my coworkers a couple times a day, maybe the boss will drop by a couple times a week. But I feel like I've become isolated at work.
Mhm.
And